I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Dixon, if you'll please call the roll.
Mr. Burnett,
Present.
Mr. Goldstein,
Present.
Ms. Johnson. Here. Ms. Najilski-Eichner. Ms. Najilski-Eichner. Ms. Smith.
Here.
Ms. Ayers.
Present.
Mr. Uvelman.
Present.
Ms. Revoluz.
Here.
Yes.
Here.
Ms. Young.
Here.
Mr. Kitis.
Here.
Ms. McMurr.
Present.
Ms. Alterman.
Here.
Mr. Keegan.
Here.
Mr. Livingston.
Here.
Ms. Shanahan.
Here.
We have 14. We have a quorum.
Mayor, you're on mute.
The famous new words for 2021 and 22. So, like I said, I must have miscounted. I thought we had 15, but the next item on the agenda is the acceptance of the minutes of the regular meeting of December 14th, 2021. Do I have a motion? Mr. Burnett moves. Any corrections, deletions, omissions? Mr. Livingston.
Thank you. I would ask that on page 4, I'm sorry, page 7, that Ms. Dixon adds in the names of the common council appointments. I can give them to you, but just like to have them on the record, if you could, please. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. McMurr.
I have a very small change. My name is misspelled under the attendance. It should be Jenn.
Okay, we can't have that. Okay, any further corrections, additions, omissions? Seeing none, all in favor of accepting the minutes as corrected?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Abstention.
Mr. Hooverman is abstaining. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is public participation. Do we have anybody wishing to address the council?
I am not seeing any, Mayor. If you would like to make a comment, please signify by pressing *9 on the phone. I'm not seeing any.
Okay. Does any council person have any correspondence from a constituent they feel needs to be read into the record? And Ms. Dixon, have you received any correspondence that is requested to be read into the record?
No, Mayor, nothing.
Okay, so we will now close public participation and move on to resignations and appointments. First, we have a resignation from Cheryl Brown.
Mayor,
Yes.
excuse me, looks like Councilwoman Nora showed up. Did you get that, Irene?
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
7:34. Thank you so much, Ms.
Thank
Young.
you. Thank you, Ms. Young. Next, we have Cheryl Brown, resignation of Cheryl Brown from the Conservation Commission as an alternate. And if you move down to appointments, we'll see that we have Cheryl Brown being moved to the Conservation Commission as a regular. Do we have a motion for appointing for Cheryl Brown? Mr. Keegan.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I had the honor of working with Cheryl Brown on the Conservation Commission a few years ago. It is now my honor to ask that she be considered for appointment to the Conservation Commission as a regular member. Cheryl is a very valued member of the commission, well respected by her colleagues, and brings an enormous level of expertise to the group. On behalf of the city, Cheryl, thank you for your willingness to serve, and I ask respectfully that the council consider Cheryl Brown for appointment this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Keegan. Any further comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Congratulations, Ms. Brown, and thank you for your willingness to serve.
Thank you.
Next, we have reappointments. First one being John Moling to the Conservation Commission as a regular. Do I have a motion? Ms. Shanahan.
Yes, it would be my distinct pleasure to renominate Mr. Moling as a regular member of the Conservation Committee. He has sat on this commission, I believe, I think it's 6 or 8 years now, for a very long time. He came from the Norwalk Land Trust. He was a president there. He was involved in Manresa Association. He has a really terrific, distinct background that makes him very suitable for this position. And it is my request that the Common Council reappoint him to his position as a regular member of the Conservation Commission.
Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. Any further comments? I too know John Moling, and all the things that Ms. Shanahan said, very true. He gives a lot of his time, and he truly is concerned about the environment and the city of Norwalk. And it was my honor to put his name up for reappointment. So seeing no further comments, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Moling. And again, thank you for all that you do for the city. Next, we have Eric Chandler being reappointed to the Historical Commission. Mr. Livingston.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've had the pleasure of working with Mr. Chandler as the council representative on the Historical Commission, and he has been an active and dedicated member of that commission. He is a true Norwalk history buff and is also a Revolutionary War reenactor and speaker. So I heartily endorse him for reappointment.
Thank you, Mr. Livingston. Any further comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Chandler. And again, thank you for your service. Next, we have 3 reappointments to the Board of Estimate and Taxation. We can move them all together. Mr. James Frayer, Mr. Troy Jelleret, and Mr. Ed Camacho. Do I have a motion? Mr. Goldstein.
Thank you. Yes, I'd like to move for the reappointment of James Frayer, Troy Jelleret, and Ed Camacho. All 3 of whom are extremely qualified. They've been on the Board of Estimate and Taxation previously, and they really dedicated a lot of time and effort and have brought their experience to bear as true professionals and have really served the city well. I know James and Troy by reputation, and Ed I know is as good a lawyer as they come. So I hope and I'm excited and grateful that they are willing to continue to serve on the BET.
Thank you, Mr. Goldstein. Any further comments? Mr. Burnett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As chairperson for the Finance and Claims Committee of the Common Council, I'd like to also support the appointment of these 3 individuals to be reappointed to the BET. I work closely with all 3, as well as the entire BET, and their advice and counsel are always welcomed. They're fair, honest, and they don't hesitate to say no sometimes. So I appreciate that openness in order to maintain the balance of our finances for the city. So I second their reappointment. They'll be of value to the work that we do.
Thank you, Mr. Burnett. Ms. Smith, I think you had your hand raised. Oh, okay. Any further comments? I want to echo Mr. Burnett's comments. It's again my pleasure and honor to reappoint or to put these 3 names up for reappointment. I've worked with them now for many years. And believe me, they are good custodians of the city finances and tax dollars, and they ask the right questions and they make very good decisions based on sound reasoning. So seeing no further comments, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Last but not least, we have a reappointment of Mr. Robert Stowers, Director of Recreation and Parks. As you know, Mr. Stowers came to us from Seattle, Washington. He was appointed to fill out the expiring term of the previous director. His term was up January 1st. He has to then come before the council to be reappointed for a 4-year term. So I'm putting him up for, after moving here from Seattle, I thought it only fair to put him up for another 4-year term. So if I can have a motion. Ms. Young.
Mr. Mayor, as we all know, Mr. Stowers has been here a short time, but has come to us from Seattle, as you said, with a plethora of experience. And we've all seen that in his CV. But I have to really say, as chair of the Recreation and Parks Committee, and in my few conversations with Mr. Stowers, I just wholeheartedly believe that the city made the best choice at this time. And not only because of his vast experiences in all the areas that we need to improve within the department, but more importantly, his openness, his manner of communication, I think will serve us well with dealing with the community. I've just been very impressed so far, and I see good things happening under his leadership in the department. He has a clear understanding of where we are and what those needs are, and I think he will take us down the path to get there in a timely manner and in the best way for moving forward for the city. So I am very pleased and about Mr. Stowers.
Thank you, Ms. Young. Any further comments? I had a meeting with Mr. Stowers this afternoon, and I was quite impressed with how he's hit the ground running and is on top of things and has a true understanding, not only of the city of Norwalk, but of our Recreation and Parks program. He's working on accreditation for the Recreation and Parks Department, working on a master plan for the Recreation and Parks Department, and he hit the ground running. And as Ms. Young said, a plethora of his experience. Former Recreation and Parks Director Nick Roberts saw Mr. Stowers' resume and pointed and he said, "This is your guy," and he was right. So again, if there are no further comments, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Stowers. And again, welcome aboard one more time. Okay, next item on the agenda is remarks from the mayor. So as you know, we've been doing testing with semaphore down at Betts Park. The problems of people lining up for very, very early and queuing up all the way down Water Street has caused us to relocate the testing process over to Shady Beach. It will allow us to take twice as many cars at a given time. So we're going to start that tomorrow, Shady Beach at 2 p.m. The testing on weekdays, we'll be testing 7 days a week for people who might be listening. Testing on weekdays will be from 2 to 7 p.m. Testing on Saturday and Sunday from 9 until 1. Now, Sunday, January 16th, we will be distributing our second round of self-test kits, COVID test kits. However, because of the problems and the gridlock that we experienced on the first distribution, we have changed to an appointment-only system. So appointments will be able to start being made on tomorrow at 10 a.m. and appointments will be made in different blocks. If a person comes and makes an appointment, they need to have with them their confirmation of their appointment and their proof of residence in the city of Norwalk. They will also, this will be at Betts Park, and it will be on start on 9 a.m. on Sunday, January 16th. So we also ask that if people have received a test kit prior with the Calf Pasture Beach distribution, please don't come and unless you absolutely have to, unless you have symptoms or unless you have an exposure and you've used the test kit. We're looking to get these tests out to as many people as possible. So we're asking people, if you've gotten a test kit, please don't make an appointment to get another. Let's not stockpile them. Let's try to distribute them to as many as we possibly can. Last time we gave out nearly 8,000 test kits. This time we'll be giving out somewhere around 5,000 or more. So we also developed an online portal to share, so people in Norwalk can share their test results with the Norwalk Health Department. You can share that information by going to norwalkt.org/selfreport.com. Let's see, January 17th, Martin Luther King Day, a national holiday. I believe, and Ms. Young, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the citywide celebration of his birthday has been postponed or been changed again this year because of COVID.
I think Greg could speak to that or through the NAACP.
It's my understanding, Mr. Mayor, that the event at normally the night event at City Hall has been postponed, will not occur today. However, there is going to be an event at Grace Baptist Church at 12 noon, which will be somewhat of a different celebration, where there'll be a guest speaker taking place at that event. Masking. Everyone needs to be masked, and temperature will be taken upon admittance to the church.
Thank you, Mr. Burnett. So this is a national holiday. One of the themes that we have always talked about for Martin Luther King Day is a day on, not a day off, opportunity to for random acts of kindness. And we ask everybody to think about your fellow person, your fellow people that we live with in a civil society, and try to help each other out and lift each other up as Dr. King did. So those are my comments. And now I will turn it over to the council president, Mr. Livingston.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The first item relates to the organization of the Common Council committees, and I'd like to move the following resolution.
Ms. Young?
Yes, Ms. Young.
Mr. Livingston, I need to recuse myself.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Please let the record show, Ms. Dixon, that Ms. Young has recused herself for this item.
Okay. So I will now read the item. A resolution concerning the renaming of certain Common Council standing committees. Whereas the Common Council of the City of Norwalk desires to rename certain of its standing committees for the purpose of clarifying the legislative purview and advisory function of such committees. And whereas acting pursuant to sections 1-189 and 1-197 of the Charter of the City of Norwalk, as well as the parliamentary authority set forth in the rules of the Common Council, City of Norwalk, Connecticut, adopted November 26, 1985, as amended and adopted February 13, 2019, and November 19, 2019. And Mason's Manual of Legislative Procedure, 2010. By a majority vote of the council members present and voting, now therefore be resolved by the council that effective as of this date, 1, the Community Services and Personnel Committee of the Council shall hereinafter be named the Community Services Committee, and 2, the Health and Public Safety Committee of the Council shall hereinafter be named the Public Safety and General Government Committee. That is the motion and the resolution, and I'll just quickly say that the primary purpose of this restructuring is to align the committees more closely with the current city structure. It will also increase healthcare accessibility in our community, we believe. And the staff person assigned to the Public Safety Committee will be Michelle DeLuca. And I don't know if there's any discussion. If there's no discussion, I'll just call for a vote. All right, all in favor, raise your hand, signify aye. Any opposed? Opposed and abstentions? Diana, Ms. Revolus is abstaining. And so that's one abstention, and everyone else is in favor. Okay, thank you. And moving on, Ms. Alterman will be reading the consent calendar tonight.
Hi, thank you, Tom. Glad to have my voice back. Okay, so I have section 6, the reports, departments, boards, and commissions. 6A, corporate counsel. Item A1 under Corporation Counsel Executive Session, authorization for discussion, settlement, Lynn Moore versus the City of Norwalk Board of Education et al. Then I have 7 Common Council committees. 7A is Health and Public Safety. 7-1A, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute any and all agreements, documents, instruments, and amendments thereto, as may be necessary to apply for and accept funding under the 2022 JAG Local Violent Crime Prevention Program grant from the state of Connecticut, Officer of Policy and Management, in the amount of $14,898. 7-1B, authorize the police chief Thomas Kulhawick to execute any and all agreements, documents, instruments, and amendments thereto, as may be necessary to the 2022 JAG Local Violent Crime Prevention Program grant in the amount of $14,898. 7-2 is authorize the purchasing agent Sharon. Oh, sorry, this was a consent to table to February 8th. 7B, Public Works Committee, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute a second amendment with Priority Landscaping LLC to project DPW 2019-1, removal and disposal of deposited sediment within the water course. Contract dated November 22nd, 2019, for an amount not to exceed $110,000. Account noted. 7-2, authorize the purchasing agent to issue a sole source purchase order to CN Wood Environment LLC for a trackless boom flail mower attachment for the trackless MT tractor, pricing not to exceed $28,000. Account noted. 7-3, approve a correction of item 7D1A of the Common Council meeting of October 26, 2021. 7-3A, as authorized on October 26, 2021, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute any and all documents necessary to convey a permanent construction and maintenance easements of 5,564 plus square feet and 257 square feet as shown on the 10 Water Street map. See enclosed memorandum of Assistant Corporation Counsel, Darren L. Callahan, dated October 22nd, 2021. 7-3B, correction for approval, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute any and all documents necessary to convey a permanent easement of 11,987 square feet for transportation purposes and opportunances thereto, and 257 square feet to construct and maintain railroad bridge as shown on the Town of Norwalk map, showing easement acquired from City of Norwalk by State of Connecticut Department of Transportation, walk railroad bridge replacement scale, 1 inch equals 20 feet. February 2020, Mark D. Rolfe, PE Chief Engineer, Bureau of Engineering and Construction, Town number 102, project number 301-176, serial number 21A, sheet 1 of 1, last revised 11/2/20. 7C, Land Use and Building Management. 7-1, approve the installation of photovoltaic panels on the Jefferson School roof by the Board of Education through a 20-year power purchase agreement. 7-2, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an amendment to the interim license agreement with the Riverbrook Regional Young Men's Christian Association Incorporated, YMCA, for the occupancy of portion of 98 South Main Street building to provide community service programs by extending the agreement period from January 1st, 2022 to March 31st, 2022. All remaining terms of the agreement to remain unchanged. 7-3, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an amendment to the lease agreement with Norwalk Senior Center for the use of Roosevelt Center at 11 Allen Road to include room number 8 as part of the lease premises. All remaining terms of the lease to remain unchanged. Do I read 4A?
Yes. That's all.
Okay. I thought I, okay. Okay, 4A, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an agreement with Tucker Mechanical Incorporated for the replacement of 4 rooftop mechanical units at police headquarters for a total not to exceed $389,935. Funds are available from account noted. Authorize 4B, authorize the Office of Building Management to issue change orders on the contract for a total not to exceed $38,993.50. 7D, Economic and Community Development Committee. D1 is 102-360 Norwalk Traffic Signal System Upgrade, Phase 4. Easement from Housing Authority of the City of Norwalk. Authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute any and all easement documents necessary as part of state project 102-360 Norwalk Traffic Signal System Upgrade, Phase 4, and compensate the Norwalk Housing Authority of the City of Norwalk $5,140 as fair market value for 252 square feet of easement rights to install traffic signal opportunities over a strip of land owned by the Housing Authority of the City of Norwalk, identified and described on a page entitled Right of Way Survey, City of Norwalk, map showing easement acquired from the Housing Authority of the City of Norwalk, subject to a positive report from the Planning and Zoning Commission. D2, 102-360 Norwalk Traffic Signal System Upgrade, Phase 4, easement from Grace Baptist Church. Authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute any and all easement documents necessary as part of state project 102-360 Norwalk Traffic Signal System Upgrade, Phase 4, and compensate Grace Baptist Church $1,930 as fair market value for 48 square feet of easement rights to install traffic signal opportunities over a strip of land owned by Grace Baptist Church, identified and described on a map entitled Right of Way Survey, City of Norwalk map, showing easement acquired from Grace Baptist Church by the City of Norwalk, subject to a positive report from Planning and Zoning Commission. D3, 102-360 Norwalk Traffic Signal System Upgrade, Phase 4, easements from Riverview East Condominium. Authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute any and all easement documents necessary as part of state project 102-360 Norwalk Traffic Signal System Upgrade, Phase 4, and compensate Riverview East Condominium $3,210 as fair market value for 190 square feet of easement rights to install traffic signal opportunities over a strip of land owned by Riverview East Condominium, identified and described on a map entitled Right of Way Survey, City of Norwalk, map showing easement acquired from Riverview East Condominium by the City of Norwalk, subject to a positive report for the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Thank you, Ms. Alterman. Is there any discussion on the consent calendar as read? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor indicate by raising their hands. Okay, anybody opposed? Any abstentions? It passes unanimously. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Livingston. So the next item on the agenda is 7D4, Mr. Kites.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item 7D4, authorize Mayor Harry W. Rilling to execute an agreement between the City of Norwalk and the Connecticut State Department of Housing and Economic Development to receive $3 million in Urban Act program funding related to Mlk Corridor Initiative. I'd like to move that, Mr. Mayor, and quickly speak to it, if I may.
Mr. Kites.
Thank you. Just a little history. This is a long time coming. Even before it came to the Planning Committee or the Economic and Community Development Committee, there's been a group that's been organized to look at ways to better improve the MLK area and the quality of life down there. And they now have the opportunity to move forward with these projects, seeing that there is some funding that's been made available. And thanks to our state, our state government, and we were ready for this funding. We have now a plan in place. So there are many positive things happening to the area to better improve, like I said, the quality of life. And if there are any questions, we have Ms. Ivanchek on the phone with us and other city staff. And like I said, I just want to thank the group that's been in place for so many years and working on this and finally getting to this point. It's a big step, big positive step forward for the area. Thank you.
I don't see anybody with any questions. Ms. Young.
Mr. Mayor, just to echo Councilman Keity's comments, as he referred, that there have been folks in the community, but and on the city side who have been meeting since 2017. And so again, this is a long time coming for the city, but everyone put in a yeoman's effort to make this happen. And we you know, when you say 2017, that sounds like a long time, but when we were ready to present our plan to the state, COVID hit. And so really put a pause on the effort, but we're glad to see this moving forward. And we're very thankful to Jessica Vanishek and her team, to Brian Bedoli, and to all the staff at City Hall and to all the folks in the community who put in the time and effort to make sure that this this effort moves forward for the city. And I think I've shared this before, and I think Ms. Vanishek has as well. And as you know, Mayor, there are only 7 MLK corridor streets in the state of Connecticut, and Norwalk happens to have the longest. And so, and I think we've done our best to make sure that we capture as much of that area as we possibly can, and we'll see a positive impact for years moving forward. So I just appreciate this and excited to get started. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Young. And let's not forget your participation. You've been at the meetings. You've been a integral part of the committee and have contributed greatly. And certainly Jessica Vanishek, who has joined us, she has done a wonderful job, and the whole team effort to find ways that we can beautify and improve the Martin Luther King corridor, not just Martin Luther King Boulevard, but the surrounding area as well, to give people a sense of pride of their neighborhood, and give them a sense of pride of the namesake for Martin Luther King area and the boulevard. So a lot of people put a lot of time and energy in here. I think I want to thank Senator Duff for his getting $3 million to this effort. He's been really good at getting money for the city of Norwalk and bringing money in by the millions, actually. So I want to thank him as well.
And Mayor, you just made me think of something too. And I think thanks goes to Bruce Morris, who was then our senator from the state representative from District B, who really made sure that Norwalk was a part of this effort and really got that moving forward for us in this city. And you're right. And to Senator Duff for making sure that we got the funding for it. And so we are very, very appreciative of our, cohorts in Hartford, in Norwalk and the community. So thank you. And the clergy, so that it wasn't just a few people, it was a good mix of people who've been engaged in this for a very long time, and other residents. So thank you. And you, Mayor, for making, so Reverend, we don't want to name everybody because then we forget somebody and then we'd be in trouble. But I think that was a good thing. So I'll shut up. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments or discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Yeah, I didn't think there would be anybody opposed to receiving $3 million. So glad to see that, but motion carries unanimously. Ms. Revolus, are you on?
Yes. Do you need me to call a motion for you?
Sure, go right ahead.
So a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn by Ms. Revolus. All in favor?
Aye.
Hey, Mayor, I'm sorry. That was special treatment,
I'm sorry.
Listen, I
But
know
she
my
deserves
space.
it right now. I know. It was
I
special treatment. I'm sorry.
I know my space right now. That is my role.
Right.
Next meeting, we'll have a competition. Whoever is the fastest. How's that?
Thank you.
I'll be up. I'll be up for my role. I'll be up.
Okay.
Thank
All in
you.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Enjoy, everybody. Have a wonderful
Hope-
evening.
Hope everybody feels well who's not feeling well. So
Yes.
feel better.
Bye.
Everybody.
Good night.
Bye.